Hey everybody, I'm Elaine, the Ninja Life Coach, and welcome to my channel today. Today I'm going to go on just a little bit of a rant about how the media and advertising and marketing can make us feel a little bit bad about ourselves as we get older. So sit back, grab yourselves a cup of coffee. I'll be right back. Hey guys, I'm back. In case you didn't notice, I do have on the platinum wig that I did in my very first Amazon wig unboxing. And I actually gave this wig to a friend of mine whose hair is thinning, and I asked her if I could borrow the wig back for this video. And I'm going to end up ordering this wig again for myself because I really like it. So I'm going to have to return this wig back, but thank you for letting me borrow it for this video. My sister and I were having a conversation this weekend about advertising, the media, and marketing. And the more we talked, the more angry we got, and the more frustrated we felt, because I feel like we both feel this way. And I just want to put this out here for you guys to see how you guys feel, because most of my audience are women over 40. And I've noticed that the older I've gotten, the less people seem to hear what I have to say. And the very first thing that I noticed about it is I feel ignored. And being ignored is not bad in every situation. If there's a big drama situation going on, I'm very happy to be ignored and just stand back and watch. But if it's a situation where I feel the need to express my opinion, or I feel my opinion would be valid in this situation, I don't want to be ignored. I want to be affirmed and I want to be heard. And unfortunately, I feel like as we get older, that doesn't happen. Now, one thing we can do to combat that is we can pick and choose our audience. You know, if there are a bunch of people around and we have something that we have to say, and we feel like we would, what we need to say needs to be heard, then by all means, we have to speak up. Our conscience will make us speak up, But if it's something that isn't life or death, and we know that what we have to say is not going to be received, we can only put it out there, and then how we feel about that is largely on us. Yes, they don't need to disrespect us, and they don't need to be mean to us. But if we already know that our audience is going to be non-receptive to our words, then we don't need to get upset when they are non-receptive. And I apologize, my dog has just decided she's going to start barking. Okay, I've got her here with me in my chair, so maybe this will keep her calm and keep her a little quiet, because she's really been missing her mama, because I haven't felt well the past couple of days and she's feeling a little ignored. So I've got her up here with me in my chair while I make this video. The second thing that we can sometimes feel is we can feel reductive. And I really like that word, because I think it's a perfect word for the way that we are made to feel sometimes as we mature and get older. And this is the exact word that Madonna used to describe how she felt when Lady Gaga burst on the scene. They said, "How did that feel to have her imitate you?" And she said, reductive. So I don't know that... I think imitation can sometimes be the highest form of flattery, but the older I've gotten, the more I can realize that, hey, you know what Madonna said? It had some validity to it. It really did, because, she was getting older. She was probably feeling like her music wasn't as relevant, and here's Lady Gaga, this newcomer on the scene, and she probably did feel reductive. And one of the ways that we can stop feeling reductive is to know who we are. Who are you? Who am I? Where does our validity come from? Where does our validation come from? Who makes us feel important? Who is that? Well, ultimately, our validation comes from God. And if we take these feelings to God and just tell him how we feel, he can really help us with that feeling of feeling reductive and feeling less than. And, that is one thing about God. He never ignores us, and he never makes us feel reductive. The third thing that we are made to feel sometimes is old-fashioned. And I am quite old-fashioned in some of the things that I feel and that I believe. Now, I'm not in everything. I'm kind of progressive in some things, because I believe that it doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are. If you have a vision, a God-given vision, and you take a hold of it, I think you need to run with it and go. And that's a little bit progressive, but I have other things that I'm a little old-fashioned about. But that's okay. Society will make us feel like that those old-fashioned values are are just not relevant for today. But you know what? That's okay that society makes us feel that way. You hold on to your core values, whatever they are, you hold on to your good godly values. It's okay. It's okay to be out of step with society. It doesn't matter. As long as you're on good footing with God and yourself and, your friends and family. And sometimes even your friends and family don't understand. But as long as you're on good footing with you and God, you're good. And you don't really need to worry about whether others think you're old-fashioned or you're out of step. The fourth thing is we're sometimes made to feel stupid. Now, no one is going to come right out and probably say, you're just dumber than a box of hammers, or that's the stupidest thing I ever heard, or your bread isn't done, or your bread ain't done, as we say here in the South. Nobody's probably going to say that to you. But if you all have been like I have, the recipient of looks like blink, blink, like a calf at a new gate, as my dad used to say, then you have been made to feel stupid. Now, a way that we can combat that is we can tell ourselves, and we can take it to the Lord, and we can just say, you know what? I am not a stupid woman. I am a smart woman. I'm an intelligent woman. I know how to operate my own iPhone. That takes some skill right there, folks. Don't let anyone else's opinion of you make you feel stupid. You are not stupid. You are smart. I'm always harking back to that movie. You is kind, you is smart, you is important. You are those things. You are those things. Just because we get older doesn't mean we get stupid. Even if people develop Alzheimer's when they get older, that doesn't mean they're stupid. That means they have a disease that makes them lose their mentation. Doesn't mean they're stupid. We're not stupid. I'm not stupid, and neither are you. The last thing that I jotted down was we can be made to feel redundant. And that word redundant, I kind of took that word from a word that's used a lot in the UK. And I don't know how many of you all have seen the original movie, Kinky Boots. And they were closing the shoe factory down, and that was the word that they used of the employees all through the movie, where you're making them redundant. You're making our employees redundant. That kind of stuck with me after I watched that movie. And the reason why is during the Industrial Revolution, there were a lot of people that were made to feel redundant when machines took over their jobs with assembly lines and things of that nature. No one should be made to feel redundant. You're not redundant. We are not redundant. We have a lot of wisdom to offer the world. And if people don't listen, that's their loss. We are not without value. And when people make us feel redundant, that makes us feel that our value has decreased. Our value has not decreased. We are valuable and precious in the eyes of the Lord. And you, my audience, are valuable and precious in my eyes. I am thankful for each and every one of you. I appreciate you listening to me ramble like this on my channel every week. I want to talk just a minute, though, about the advertising, the media, and marketing. Most things today are marketed to a certain demographic that we just don't fit into anymore. Some of the commercials and things I see on TV, I'm just kind of like, well, what was that all about? I just scratch my head. I'm thinking, I can't wait for the Super Bowl to come on so I can actually see some commercials that halfway make sense to me. And I think a lot of that is because I just don't keep up with a lot of crazy stuff that's going on. I really just don't want to clutter my mind with it, and I don't want to clutter my heart with it, and I just kind of, well, okay. But I blame a lot of the feelings that we get as we get older. I blame that on the media, advertising, and marketing. I'm thinking back to a time not when I was a younger woman, and there was a big ad campaign that was about the little breath mints, certs. And they would go, two mints in one. And people would have those mints in each hand, and they would click them together, and they would say, certs with Retsin, ding, and they would click it together. It wasn't until I was a much older lady that I realized that the word Retsin was another word for fat. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, certs with fat. Now, I don't know about you, but if we checked into some of the ways that we are marketed things nowadays, it would be the exact same thing. We are told that we have to look a certain way, be a certain way, think a certain way, want certain things, act certain ways. We don't have to do any of that. And I think the problem is as we get older, we kind of in our little, especially if you grew up in the 60s and 70s, our little rebel hearts kind of, protest against that. And we rebel against that. Like, no, I don't want to be a conformist. I want to be a nonconformist. I want to be me. I want to be who I am. I don't want to be who you tell me I need to be. And I'm going to encourage you today, if you have felt that way, drop me a comment or send me an email and we'll have a dialogue about it, because I would really love to hear your reactions to this, because I know that I've talked to enough ladies to know I'm not the only one who feels this way. But I'm wondering how it affects you, my audience, as well, because as we get older, we start dealing with things that we didn't have to deal with when we were 25. We deal with the loss of loved ones. Some of us are widows. Some of us have had to deal with hair loss. We have to deal with health issues. We have to deal with a lot of other things. Our families moving off and leaving us, where things we have to deal with. And it can really adversely affect us if we don't take action. Some of the influencers that I follow on YouTube that I really, really enjoy, one of them the other day said something that just really, it really upset me. And she was talking about, how to look younger and do this. And she was really promoting the skincare. And I was like, man, her skin looks great. Maybe I'll order this stuff. And I was, there with my pen and paper, ready to click on the link, do whatever. And she said, well, I just had Botox a couple of weeks ago and I had a microdermal or whatever, a dermal abrasion thing done to my skin, and all this stuff. And I just had, cool sculpting. And I'm thinking, okay, if I had all that done to me, my skin would look great too. Now, I'm not saying don't have that done. Go have it done if you want to. I certainly would if I had the money. But, okay, calm down. Goose fraba, goose fraba. I really appreciate her transparency with talking about having that, having those procedures. But don't promote something that isn't accurate. Don't come on your channel and say, oh, hey, this skincare has made me look great. I've used it a week and look how good I look. When that very same week you've had Botox, you've had cool sculpting, and you've had that other dermatological procedure done on your face. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's false advertising. And I know that if that happens here on YouTube where people are monetized to say things, and look, there's not anything wrong with being monetized. Some of the things on my channel are monetized. That's perfectly okay. It's a great way to do something that you really enjoy, plus get rewarded for it. I am all for that. I'm for free enterprise. But be honest about it. Just say, hey, I've had procedures. I didn't look like this a month ago. There's nothing wrong with that. Film your procedure. Do whatever it is that's going to make you happy. But be honest about it, and don't make me try to feel like I have to purchase something that's not going to make a bit of difference in the way I look. I heard my sister was telling me about a dermatologist that was on YouTube that she follows, and the dermatologist was saying, look, she was talking about, turkey neck, and I have turkey neck. I have like 3 chins. And it's okay, it's turkey neck. So I know the only thing that I have discovered to fix turkey neck is to have surgery. Well, I don't want to do that. But this dermatologist was talking about turkey neck, and she said the only thing to fix that, there's no cream, there's no exercises, nothing. The only thing to fix that is have a procedure. And when my sister told me that, I was like, thank you, Jesus. At least somebody is honest about it. So there's my little rant about growing older and some things that, may or may not have happened to you, but I would be very curious to see if anybody else feels this way. And look, folks, I think growing older is great. I think growing older has got its wonderful perks. Growing older is a privilege that is denied to many, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to grow older. But with growing older, if we don't really put our reliance on God and we don't trust Him through this process, it's very easy to get involved in things that we don't need to be involved in. And it's very easy to not feel good about ourselves. One of the reasons why I wear wigs and I wear makeup and I am really, really into fashion, and one of the reasons why is it makes me feel better about myself. But let me tell you, folks, I can do everything I want to my exterior, and I can still feel rotten inside about myself. Don't do that. Feel good about yourself. Take those steps that you have to take to feel good about yourself internally and shut down that self-talk that makes us feel less than. I hope you guys have a wonderful day today. Visit my website, ninjalifecoaching.com, and when you've got a moment, hop on over to Amazon and check out my book, Lord, Am I Going Crazy? It's a 30-day devotional guide for women over 40. God bless you. Maranatha.